Okay, welcome to a very late update video on the latest version of the training mode 0.21.09. So I'm just going to get right into it here. This month of development, month and a bit actually, has been mostly bug fixes and the like, because there's been a lot of things I've been changing behind the scenes that have either made more bugs pop up, or more apparent, or introduced more bugs, or just there's other stuff sitting there that I knew about that I wanted to go about getting rid of. So there's only a few new features to show. First thing is a new save and load system for the replays. So this is just as simple as I hit that button there, and then it asks me, do I want to save or do I want to load? And that just writes a file to whatever folder you have the training mode written in, and that's going to contain the inputs of whichever slot you have selected for recording. And then in the same way, if you have a file of the name, it'll be saved as replay.lua, and then if you also have a file in there named replay.lua, you can load it into whichever slot you have selected. So for example, there I just saved it, so it'd be on my disk now, and I can go ahead, load up slot 2 and load in, and so slot 1 and slot 2 are now the same because I saved it to my machine and then I load it back in. So you can share it around with other people or what have you. It's still a bit of a work in progress, but it's a proof of concept if nothing else. Next is the sort of biggest change, is what I've been working on the most. If you have a look at the replay editor here, there's a few new buttons in place, and also note that there's a new display up top here. This will keep track of which replay slot you're in. So you see down here, there's sort of a left arrow for the slot, right arrow for the slot, and I can change which slot I'm looking at. So see, slot 1 and slot 2 are the same thing as I saved and load earlier. So features work all the same. It can go up and down and set new inputs and all that kind of stuff. I changed copy, so now it actually moves you down, which makes it easier just to do a lot of copying. New button, delete. So before, if you wanted to make a slot blank, you had to hit set and then wait the 60 frames, but now you can just hit delete and get on with it quicker. And then of course, moving the slots about. So now you can edit multiple slots at a time should you choose, and then back, and then it's all set up nicely as it should be, so on and so forth. But the main thing to note is that I've shown this off right now with Vampire Hunter. That's a 6-button game, of course. So what's going to happen with the buttons in like a 3-button game or a 4-button game? Well, I'll show you now. Yeah, here we go. I have Cyberbots here. Cyberbots is a 4-button game. So let's just have a look at replay editor here. So you see same sort of thing going on, slot 1 and such. But when you look down here, there's set, copy, right, the first 2 buttons, and there's this more button here, and then the back button you're used to. So you can hit more, and what that will actually do is it'll toggle through menu options, right? We'll just scroll through them. So in that way now, I've written this to be sort of a script-wide change. So now I have the framework in place that I can add more functionality to, you know, all sorts of different parts of the training mode without having to worry about restrictions on how many buttons or what, you know, that sort of thing with games. Because that kind of stopped me in the past. I wanted to add more functionality in place, but I couldn't do it without adding more buttons than say a 3-button game could handle or a 4-button game. So it's sort of blown that restriction out of the water. Obviously, it's going to be more convenient to work with a game with more buttons in place, but I'm also going to see what I can do about that for games with fewer buttons. But as it sounds right now, I can theoretically add as much as I'd like, so that's great for the future. And besides that, that's sort of everything that's changed. So hopefully now that I've straightened things out, I can I've streamlined the updating process, and I can get a bit more of that. So until next time, thanks for watching.